Court, upon further reflection, given the nature and complexity of the issues that have been raised by Mr. L., the court is rescinding its previous ruling and will make a determination that until a licensed practitioner in the state of New Jersey substitutes in for Mr. L., the court will enter an order that Mr. Kiesler will remain as counsel.
Objection. For the record.
It's overruled.
Objection. For the record, I have not authorized the Office of Public Defense or John J. Kiesler to take this matter.
Okay.
Or represent this.
Very well.
The office. For the record.
I got it. Until there is a licensed practitioner in the state of New Jersey.
Objection. The practice of law cannot be licensed by any state, and that's according to Schwar versus Board of the Examiners 353 U.S. 238-239.
Objections overruled. Until there is an attorney, a licensed practitioner here to represent Mr. L., court is recognizing Mr. Kiesler as the attorney of record. Objection.
For the record, on the record, and let the record show, the rule of professional conduct states, RPC 1.0, a law firm denotes a lawyer or lawyers in a law partnership, professional corporation, sole proprietorship, or other association authorized to practice law, or lawyers employed in a legal services organization or the legal department of a corporation or other organization. http://www.judiciarystate.nj.us/rules.
Until an attorney authorized to practice law is representing you, Mr. L., the Public Defender's Office, Mr. Kiesler, will represent you.
Objection. For the record, the corporate body politic that has authorized the Aboriginal Law Firm's Secretary of State authorization number is 003.
The fact that you listen to me, Mr. That's it. That's it. I'm tired of this now. If you come in here again with this mess, and I'm going to call it mess on the record, you're going to be arrested. We're done. This matter will be continued to November 10th. If there's a substitution of attorney from somebody licensed, the fact that the Aboriginal law firm may have some standing with the Secretary of State is not the issue in this case. It's a question of whether, in fact, the law firm has an attorney licensed to practice in the state of New Jersey. The matter is continued to November 10th, 2008 at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Objection.
I'm done. I'm done.
Now, put this on the record, please.
You can put whatever you want on the record. I'm done.
For the record, on the record, and let the record show, I have filed a writ of coronam juris, a demand for termination or state the proper jurisdiction to all.
I'm tired. Listen.
Authorization number is 003.
The fact that you listen to me, Mr. That's it. That's it. I'm tired of this now. If you come in here again with this mess, and I'm going to call it mess on the record, you're going to be arrested. We're done. This matter will be continued to November 10th. If there's a substitution of attorney from somebody licensed, the fact that the Aboriginal law firm question stated
a writ of coronam juris, a demand for termination or state the proper jurisdiction to all matters concerning the items of subject.
I know, I got it. I already placed that on the record. Place it on the record. November 10th, 9 o'clock. That's it.
For the record, I give honors to Judge Smith. Thank you.
Collect your papers and get out of that man's courtroom.
Resume Now is America's top resume builder and is now free to start. Just click this video. Get your job 2 times faster.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home.
And now, under indictment 08-04-0441, we will proceed to the matter of the State of New Jersey versus Cheyenne M. Kushmir L. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, counsel, your appearance, please.
Judge, good morning. Assistant Prosecutor Mike Luciano from the state.
Good morning, Cheyenne. Matilda Kushmir L. on behalf of the Aboriginal Law Firm.
All right. Mr. Kushmir L., you are not here on behalf of the Aboriginal Law Firm. You are here as yourself.
No, I am not, ma'am. I have authentic documentation concerning my identification. The state of New Jersey cannot have charges against Cheyenne M.K. Ill, considering it doesn't have jurisdiction. I'm not in the state of New Jersey, ma'am. I'm domiciling in North America, and I'm in Timbuktu. That's where we're at right now, ma'am. That's the indigenous name. I have treaty immunities according to the Article 6 of the Constitution.
Now, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment, please. We will talk about all of those substantive issues and procedural issues in a moment.
All right, man. No problem.
You are not here as a representative of the Aboriginal Law Firm. You are here in my courtroom as a named defendant in a criminal indictment.
Ma'am, with all due respect, ma'am, I'm not a defendant. With all due respect, ma'am, I am representing the Aboriginal Law Firm concerning this matter. If I may state for the record, ma'am.
Sir, no, you may not. Listen to me.
Objection.
Sir, your name, please?
Mayor KCL.
First of all, please have a seat. Secondly, I do not allow people to call out from the audience, so please don't do that.
All right, well, objection, ma'am.
Sir, I do not allow people to call out from the audience. Please do not do that.
The judge just said that she doesn't allow people to call out from the audience, and the Moorish sovereign turns around and does it again. Why must the Moorish cheerleaders that have nothing to do with the case open their mouths? All they're going to do is make things worse.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, well, for the record, ma'am.
No, sir, do not call out from the audience. Please be seated and please be quiet.
May you continue, ma'am?
No.
Okay.
Sir, do not, listen to me. I have that sheet. When you were in court on November 17th, you told me that you wanted me to call you Cheyenne Kushmir L.
Matilda Kushmir L. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, you want me to use the full middle name too?
You don't have to, ma'am.
Well, remember I was asking you if I could call you Mr. Kushmir L, and you said no, you wanted me to use your first name?
I said, ma'am. I said, call me Cheyenne Matilda Kushmir L. This is what I always say, ma'am.
That's fine. All right. Cheyenne Kushmir L. You are named in the indictment as a defendant in a criminal case. I understand your position. Number one, the state of New Jersey does not have jurisdiction over you, could not and should not have named you in the indictment, and you're not subject to the laws of the state of New Jersey and the procedures. I understand that that is what your position is. And at the end of the day, you may actually succeed in that position. Someone may be determined as a matter of fact and as a matter of law that you're correct, and these papers will, and the indictment will be dismissed. But as of now, procedurally, in this courtroom, that is how you stand.
Excuse me, ma'am. Objection, ma'am. The state of New Jersey has documentation of my identification. The original charge, ma'am, was charged to Brandon Casimir for possession of CDS exhibiting false document, possession of false document. That warrant, ma'am, was signed by George McCloskey. I served your office.
Name's Gregory.
Gregory McCloskey, ma'am. Served your office with the proper documentation that the oath was not signed or the warrant wasn't signed, ma'am. Therefore, if you can give me a minute to get my papers situated, I can tell you exactly what I'm talking about.
I understand what you're talking about, sir, but this is the problem. We are not talking about whether the indictment's going to be dismissed, whether the issuance of the warrant was improper. whether the oath is improper. We're not talking about any of that yet. We will get to that eventually, but we are not talking about that yet. We're talking today about whether you are going to proceed representing yourself or whether you are going to need an attorney to represent you.
Ma'am, I'm not consenting to any of the proceedings. I will not be making any agreement with any attorneys at law, providing I haven't given any of them power of attorney. I'm only here under threat, duress, and coercion because I've been falsely imprisoned under false identification with proper documentation from the state, man. Not from the state, but authenticated by the state, man. I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. My property was stolen from me, so I cannot represent myself. That's impossible to do, man. I'm here in propria personalis and juris. I'm here before you. This is not the person or the man that was charged. Brandon Casimir is Brandon Casimir. That's a dissolved entity. Brandon Casimir origin.
You see that? That's like the ejection button in a helicopter or, airplane, or even like a special futuristic car. So you're going to use that name up until you break the law and be sent or be charged. And then once you're charged, now all of a sudden you're going to eject that name and say, hey, that's not me. That's my straw man. I am this new guy. I'm the Grand Sheik Wizard L. Grand Sheik, Grand Wizard, same thing. Grand Sheik, Grand Wizard. This is your black power. It's just blackwash. They got a Grand Wizard, you got a Grand Sheik. Y'all both hate the Constitution. Y'all both don't want to be regulated by the federal government. Y'all both don't want to pay taxes. Y'all both want to be sovereign. You dig? That's all it is. The Nation of Islam, the Moorish Temple, all these Black Panther, the new Black, not the old original Black Panther, but the new Black Panther. They're on this because the new Black Panther, those people are former Nation of Islam members. None of those guys are from the original sheep, the original flock, the original chapter, whatever you might call it. So they are heavily influenced by the teachers of Yaqub. You dig? Come on, it's no comparison. But anyway, this is black power. It just paint these guys as black and put an RBG or Moorish flag back there. It's no difference. Same thing. That's black. That's your black power. White people.
Starts in Brooklyn, New York. I have documentation.
Well, it also says, also known as.
I'm not. That is incorrect now.
And on November 17th, the indictment was amended to reflect your correct name, which you have told me.
That is my identity.
Is Cheyenne, your name, your identity, whatever you want to call it, as Cheyenne M. pushing your L.
Okay, so what I'm gathering here is this. When this Moorish sovereign was Terrel, like you stinger praying to
you are going to continue to appear in this courtroom without the benefit of legal counsel, or are you going to have an attorney? If I decide that you need to have an attorney, you don't have to agree. You and I probably during the course of the proceedings are going to disagree about a lot of things, but that's fine.
Ma'am, that would be threat, duress, and coercion to force me to get an attorney, man. That would be a violation of Title 18 United States Code, deprivation of rights. I have a consent to have an attorney, man.
You don't have to consent,
My society,
sir.
according to the Constitution, man, I have the right to have counsel.
Which Constitution is that?
The United States Constitution, Article 6, that states that treaties and all laws of the United States are the supreme law of the land. I have a
all run to Article 6, all of them.
Treaty of Peace and Friendship via 1787, man.
Well, I suggest to you.
The Articles, wait, is that the Articles of Confederation? My date. Let me see. Let me check real fast. I know he ain't going back there. Articles of 1781. Okay, so he could be talking about the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Let me see. Yeah, now this is 1789, so he's definitely talking about the Articles of Confederation.
I would see
of Peace and Friendship via 1787, man.
Well,
or he be talking about some fake Moorish treaty with the United States government. Yeah.
I would suggest to you that you also read the cases that talk about your constitutional rights.
I have, ma'am.
That say that you only have the right to proceed without an attorney when you are able to do so, and that this court has the authority to tell you either to get a lawyer or to appoint an attorney when it believes and finds that you are not able to do that.
Ma'am.
That is the purpose of today's hearing, sir.
Can you cite the case law, ma'am? And is that federal statute?
Moretti versus California at 422 U.S. 806.
Yeah, I need y'all to read this right here. This is important. Read this important. This is very important. Because when that Moore called in, I asked him what was federalism, and he did not want to answer. Either he did not know, or he knew if he answered, it destroyed his entire argument. So is America a federalism? Federalism in the United States is the constitutional division of power between the U.S. state government and the federal government of the United States. That's why I asked the brother, what is federalism? Since the founding of the country, and particularly with the end of the American Civil War, power shifted away from the states and toward the national government. That's why I asked that brother, because the brother was acting like in 1780 something that the federal government was in charge. I was like, no, the hell he weren't. It was the states. I said, do you know what federalism is? He said, act like federalism. That question had it meant nothing in the discussion. It meant everything, because if you understood federalism, then you know that the federal government did not have power over the states like that until after the Civil War, and even after the Great Depression, when they got sole power, or majority of the power. So now you know what federalism is. It says power shifted away from the state. I mean, the states had the power, the 13 colonies, they had the power. The federal government was limited. And I guess I gotta show that video again. The crash course on that. I guess I gotta do it.
It's a United States Supreme Court case.
Okay. Well, according to Canon 3, ma'am.
Three of what?
Canon 3. I'm gonna get it for you in a second, ma'am.
Okay.
1 second. According to Canon 3, it stipulates of the Judicial Code of Conduct, it stipulates a judge should perform the duties of judicial office impartially and diligently. A, should accord to every person who is legally interested in a proceeding or that person's lawyer. These are members of my society who are interested in this legal proceeding, man. And you are obligated, according to the Code of Judicial Conduct, to allow them to be able to consult with me about these issues.
I was looking for a way to make some extra money. I saw this video of a guy talking about how much money he made on DoorDash.
If you need an opportunity while this matter is going on to consult with people, all you need to say is, Judge, I need to take a moment to consult with someone.
Okay, no problem, man.
You have sat in my courtroom on a number of occasions, and I think that you are aware of the fact that I say to people all of the time, you were here when I took pleas. If you need time to talk to your lawyer, let me know. You can step outside and talk to your lawyer.
Well, my society has power of attorney over my person, man. And according to Canon 3, as was stated, just finishing up, it says, except as authorized by law, neither initiate nor consider ex parte or other communications concerning a pending or impending proceeding. So, just to put that on the record, I would like to consult with my counsel from my society, man.
Before proceeding any further?
Before proceeding any further, ma'am.
Certainly, sir. You may step outside. Listen to me. You may step outside into the lobby.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's now, I'll give you 5 minutes.
No problem.
And come back in, sir.
No problem.
Officer, I don't want those people standing in that front row. I told the man to sit down, make them sit down. The other thing is, I don't want a phalanx of sheriff's officers across the back door. It is intimidating to me, and I don't want the litigants in my courtroom intimidated like that. So please tell them. You know, if the undersheriff wants to talk to me about it, that's fine. This is my courtroom.
All right.
Okay, that'd be great. All right, sir, you've had an opportunity to consult.
Yes, ma'am. Just for the record, I'm a Moorish American Aboriginal Indigenous man.
Hold on, I'm going to write this down.
No, you're a regular Black American, or you can be a Haitian or Jamaican or island American or somebody from the continental African American. Okay? You're not this Moorish person.
American, Aboriginal, Indigenous man.
You're talking too fast. Moorish
Man, don't even write that bullshit down.
American, Aboriginal,
Indigenous, sovereign man. Okay?
Sovereign, you're really sovereign? Like, dude, stop it. You're not sovereign. Like, who granted you sovereignty? What power? Did Morocco grant you sovereignty? Can you prove that? Can you call up some officials? Like, what Moroccan ties do you have? You're just a liar, man. You got charged with some criminal activity. Dude, serve your time or pay your fine and move on. You took the L, dude.
And as far as jurisdiction, man, according to case law, federal Supreme Court statutes, there's no discretion to ignore lack of jurisdiction. See,
Sir, I'm going to interrupt you because I'm going to repeat once again. We haven't even gotten to the issue of jurisdiction yet. The issue is whether you are going to appear in this courtroom with an attorney or without an attorney.
Answer the question, my boy. What is wrong with you, man? Take the damn hat off so your brain can breathe and function properly.
Simply that small issue.
I understand
After we decide that issue, we will then move on to the issue of whether this court has jurisdiction over you, whether the charges are against you, all of those things. But for today,
I just must say, man, to add on to what you're saying, jurisdiction, for the record, can be challenged at any time. See Lantana versus Hopper. I'm raising jurisdiction now, man, asserting my constitutional right, and jurisdiction hasn't been proven. I haven't even had a rebuttal from the prosecutor, man. There hasn't even been a rebuttal. The judge is not supposed to be the arbitrator. I haven't had a rebuttal once from the prosecutor.
I can assure you I am not an arbitrator.
I understand. I've sent plenty of documentation asking for the returning of the documentation that the prosecutor office holds in regards to the fact of my identity and it proving that the state has no jurisdiction. And jurisdiction, again, can be challenged at any time. See Lantana versus Hopper. The burden shifts to the courts to prove jurisdiction. See 100 SCT 2502. There is no discretion to ignore lack of jurisdiction. See Rosemont versus Lambert 46-9 F2D 416. So, with that being said, man, can jurisdiction be proven for the record? I'm here on the threat, duress, and coercion. Because I'm here, I'm not here on my own free will, other than threat, duress, and coercion. On the bail recognizance sheets that was signed, Brandon Casimir isn't signed to that. That's who originally was charged. If you amend the court records to say and reflect that Brandon Casimir is also known as Cheyenne Cushmere Ill or Cheyenne Matola Cushmere Ill and any and all derivatives, that would be improper and that would be illegal and unlawful because I'm not also known as Brandon Casimir. The documentation that was given to the officer was given when he asked. I gave him authentic documentation from the state of New Jersey. That was authenticated, authenticated by the state of New Jersey. That officer had no jurisdiction. He asked where I was traveling. I said Timbuktu. This land is indigenously called Timbuktu.
Wrong. Now, this is exactly why Moorish Americans are a joke.
Timbuktu.
Like as of the United people alone by
this land had no jurisdiction. He asked where I was traveling. I said Timbuktu. This land is in
Timbuktu. What's right? These dudes are just a mess, man. And they sit there and invest hours and thousands of hours in this bullshit, man. They could have been a real lawyer had you invested your time correctly. It's annoying, man.
Indigenously called Timbuktu. I have the right to assert that right according to Article 6 of the treaty.
I'm going to interrupt you. There are some people that believe that this is the state of New Jersey. You may not believe that, but there are people that believe that this is the state of New Jersey.
Belief is not reason and facts, man. So because the state of New Jersey gives out authentication documentation on West State Street in Trenton, New Jersey.
It's not the state of New Jersey. It's the Providence of New Jersey. Come on, man.
Jersey, that's why I know the state of New Jersey to exist at. The state of New Jersey is not the soil of the land. So if anyone thinks that the state of New Jersey is the soil of the land, they're sadly mistaken.
Well, I think that there are probably some people that believe that you are sadly mistaken.
The state of New Jersey is not the soil of the land. So if anyone thinks that the state of New Jersey is the soil of the land, they're sadly mistaken.
Well, I think that there are probably some people that believe that you are sadly mistaken. But that is not the issue today. If you wish to address the issues that I have brought before the... No. My issue today is, are you going to appear with a lawyer or are you going to appear without a lawyer? That is the only issue I am addressing today. I am not addressing the issue of jurisdiction.
Excuse me, ma'am. According to the federal case law in the United States Constitution and the United States Supreme Court,
and when the issue is raised properly before this court, I will consider.
It's being raised at any time, man.
Excuse me a moment, please. There's a lot of talking going on in the courtroom that I can hear. If I can hear it, it is being recorded on our recording system. Two things. I don't think you want people on the recording system to know what you're saying. The second is you're interfering with me. If it continues, I will have to ask you to leave the courtroom.
Objection, ma'am. According to Canon 3, a judge to the court to every person who is legally interested in a proceeding or that person's lawyer full right to be heard according to law. Asking us to leave the room, man, is improper.
I'm not asking you to leave the room at all. I'm asking people who are speaking so loudly that they are interfering with the proceedings.
You asked me, am I going to proceed with attorneys? This is my society. And my greatest society exists beyond these walls. They have power of attorney, a written agreement, contractually. That's a constitutional right for us to be able to enter into.
What do you want them to do? Who is it actually that holds the power of attorney?
My entire counsel. This is my counsel.
And what do you want them to do? In this courtroom
according to constitutional law.
No. Tell me the actions that you want them to take in this courtroom today.
Counsel. I want my society members
sitting next to you?
Yes, counseling me.
That is not going to happen, sir.
Well, that is improper and illegal, man.
It is not.
And
when you need to consult with them, you simply tell me. You can step outside. We have a private conference room on the left-hand side. You can consult with them there. They are not going to sit at the council table with you.
According to the Code of Judicial Conduct, man, that's not stipulated in Article 3.
There are a lot of things that aren't stipulated in Article 3, including the fact that you and I need to consult with one another. We need to be polite to one another.
Absolutely,
that's not there.
Absolutely.
So there are a lot of things that aren't there.
I'm being polite as possible, ma'am.
I'm not suggesting otherwise.
Okay, and just to add for the record once more.
Is this all for the record?
Yes, this is all for the record.
Okay, then you let me know when you're finished putting it on the record, and then you and I will continue with our discussion.
Ma'am, jurisdiction can be challenged at any time. See Lantana versus Hopper. I'm raising the jurisdictional issues right now, man. You're asking me to assert whether or not I will have an attorney at law be representing me. That is impossible, unlawful, and illegal, and that is against your constitution.
Nuggets?
We always have nuggets.
Killer taste, killer nutrition.
Constitutional oath if you force me to get an attorney at law. I've already asserted the fact that jurisdiction can be challenged at any time. Courts must prove on record all jurisdiction facts related to the jurisdiction asserted. We can't proceed until jurisdiction is proven.
You finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The issue we are going to discuss today, and I'm going to repeat this for the last time.
I move the court, ma'am, to dismiss this case for lack of jurisdiction.
Denied.
Jurisdiction can't be challenged at any time, ma'am.
Don't repeat yourself 4 times, please. I listen carefully. I write things down. If you wish to file that sort of an application with the court, it can be filed in writing upon notice to everyone involved. I am not going to repeat myself again. I cannot conduct this proceeding with noise from the front row. If you lady, ma'am, and you gentlemen want to stay here, be quiet.
I'm not a gentleman, man. I'm a nobleman, just for the record.
If you are a Moorish, American, Aboriginal, Indigenous, sovereign man, whatever you are, be quiet in my courtroom. I cannot do this with people talking in the audience.
Can jurisdiction be proved, ma'am?
Sir, we are not dealing with the issue. I've told you before. You want to raise that issue, you file an appropriate motion.
Has been filed, ma'am.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'll deal with it when I see it. If it's not in the appropriate form, it's not going to get dealt with. The issue today is whether you are able to proceed in this proceeding with a lawyer or without a lawyer.
I'll be proceeding, ma'am, in probate personas to jurors with the right of my society and law firm to consult me.
Well, all of that is well and good. The decision I'm going to make today is whether you are going to have an attorney at law who is admitted to practice law in the state of New Jersey representing you. And that's what we're going to talk about now.
Excuse me, ma'am. The practice of law cannot be licensed by any state. Board versus Swear. A plenary license is not a license.
Now, what's the case that you just cited? What's the case you just cited?
Board versus Swear, ma'am, or Swear versus Board.
Right. Yeah. Did you read that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is it about? What is it? Why don't you tell me what the case is about?
I'm not here to get into subject matter, ma'am. I'm simply stating for the record.
Sir, you cannot sit at that table and read part of a sentence out of a United States Supreme Court case and tell me that it means that the practice of law cannot be restricted in any way.
Now, what this judge just did right here, she pretty much just called him out for cherry picking and making arguments on cases that he fully doesn't even comprehend.
Ma'am, it can be restricted for those who are U.S. citizens. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a Moorish American, indigenous, sovereign. I've already stated this for the record.
Well, in fact, all that case had to do with whether the state of Georgia could stop someone who was...
Objection, ma'am. I am not making an application. I gave you an affidavit of fact. It is your duty to dismiss this case because this court has no jurisdiction, and the complaint warrant, according to the governing rules of the courtroom for the state of New Jersey, hasn't been signed.
Is there anything else that you want to tell me before I make my decision concerning whether this case will proceed with a lawyer or without a lawyer?
I would like to say for the record that jurisdiction hasn't been proven.
I agree with you. I agree with you that you have raised that issue and it needs to be resolved. And the record shall so reflect that you have raised it and that I have told you that. Anything else you want to say?
Until this court can prove jurisdiction, these proceedings are colorable, fraudulent, and I will be proceeding with the law because it always provides a remedy, and I will be filing criminal charges, and I will be filing criminal charges and civil suits in federal court regarding this issue.
Anything else you want to say?
Nothing else for the record other than jurisdiction hasn't been proven for the record. And I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion.
Is that everything you want to say?
I've long ago concluded, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to render my ruling now then. On April 22nd, 2008, an indictment was filed or was handed down by the grand jury. And the title of the indictment, and it's indictment 2008-04-0441. And the caption of the indictment is the State of New Jersey versus Brandon Casimir, also known as Cheyenne M. Casimir L. There is another defendant, Cornell C. Dixon, also known as Colonel Chauncey L., also known as Cornell Hall.
I'm not Brandon Casimir.
There have been lengthy discussions in this courtroom with regard to whether Brandon Casimir is a real live person, not a real live person, someone who used to exist, who doesn't exist now. There's been a lot of discussion about that. The Moorish American Aboriginal Indigenous Sovereign man who stands in my courtroom this afternoon has advised me that his name is Cheyenne Matuto Kushamir El.
Objection, ma'am. My name is not Cheyenne Matuto Kushamir El. That is my attribute. A name is a name or label of a corporation.
Well, this is a new piece of information.
I've never put on the record, ma'am, for the record, that my name was Brandon Casimir.
The Moorish American Aboriginal Indigenous Sovereign man who stands in my courtroom today has the attribute.
This judge is clearly patronizing this Moorish sovereign because his arguments are ridiculous. He literally thinks just because he changes his name that he's a different person. And she's calling him by his name, or rather appellation, and he wants to button and tell her that's not his name, that's his appellation, as if it would make any difference in this court hearing. These people are absolutely ridiculous.
Cheyenne Matuto Kushamir El.
Mutota. M-U-T-O-T-A.
The issue in the hearing today, and when I say today, it has been continued several days, is whether the Moorish American Aboriginal Indigenous Sovereign man with the attribute Cheyenne Matuto Kushamir El can continue his involvement in this litigation without a lawyer. I have used the words pro se. He objects to that. It is my understanding that he wants it to be impropria persona sui juris. In the state of New Jersey, we have started to talk about self-represented litigants. However you call it, the issue is the same, and that is whether this person can continue in this litigation with or without an attorney. The indictment as to Cheyenne Matuto Kushamir El charges three things. In count one, it charges possession of a controlled dangerous substance, to wit cocaine, out of an incident that arose in Mount Laurel on October 24th, 2007.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and I'm a facilitator. What I do is I go into companies and I help their teams get stuff done. I help them solve problems and I help them make decisions. That's what I do. That's what a facilitator does. And it's a fun job. I don't have to do a lot of execution. I don't have to do a lot of documentation. Most of the time, I'm doing the fun stuff. I'm at the start of the projects. I'm helping them think of the strategy. I'm helping them think of the big picture. I'm helping these teams figure out really what they should do and how to collaborate. And the cool thing is, almost every company in the world needs someone like me, because almost every company in the world has issues with teams coming together, making decisions, and getting things done. The reason for this is called collaboration chaos. Groups of people do not know how to work together correctly. So what usually happens is when groups come together, they don't get stuff done because it's total chaos and there's no rules for how a meeting works. Usually, there's two outcomes of a meeting. One, the best case scenario, is that the teams talk, people talk over each other, things go around in circles, and basically nothing gets done. And at the end of that meeting, what's the result? We're going to have another meeting. The second case, and this is actually the worst case scenario, is that you're working on a product, you're working on a project, and months into it, you have a meeting where somebody who you haven't met before turns up to the meeting, somebody higher up, and they change everything. They destroy the project, they also destroy everyone's motivation, and you're back to the drawing board. Meetings generally suck, and people working at companies look at meetings as the tax they have to pay to actually do the thing they love. I was a UX designer. I loved making products. I loved making things that people like to use, but I still had to pay the tax of meetings for my entire career. And that's what almost burned me out. I hated meetings so much that I decided I needed to figure it out. And that led me to where I am today. I'm a facilitator who works for some of the coolest companies in the world, but I also teach thousands of facilitators a year on how to do what I do, which is basically how to help teams solve problems and make decisions. So if you're interested in getting more into that facilitation topic, if you're interested in becoming a facilitator who can work for any company on the planet and make a really nice day rate doing that, I've created a video training. And in this video training, I'll teach you the 516 method for becoming a top 1% facilitator. This video is going to show you exactly how to help any team at any company get stuff done in a way that they actually enjoy it. So that's really all there is to it. Check out the video, tap wherever there's some link somewhere here, and I'll see you on the other side.
America's original SUV is back. The all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. Stunning from every angle. The pinnacle of American ingenuity. The all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer are the perfect blend of capability and sophistication. A timeless design crafted with meticulous details. The all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer redefines the premium SUV, a class of vehicle it created over 50 years ago. The all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer available now. Stop in or visit our website today.
It further charges in count 2 third-degree false documents and alleges that there were, it alleges in the indictment a fraudulent U.S. Department of State public minister credential in the name of Chief Minister Shyam M. Kusamir L. as a means of verifying a person's identity.
Objection, ma'am.
And there is the same allegation made in count 3, except that it is a 4th-degree crime.
Objection. That indictment does not say Shyam Kusamir L.
It doesn't matter what the indictment says. The indictment is for you. The indictment is for the person who got fingerprinted when they got charged, and that is you, no matter what your name is now or no matter what your name was then. The indictment is for you.
Of concern to the court today and always, and under the line of cases of Prasathi, Reddish, and most recently, State of New Jersey versus Pascal Dubois at 189 New Jersey 454, is whether a litigant knowingly and intelligently waives the right to be represented by counsel when he or she says to the court, I don't want a lawyer.
Objection. I already stated for the record that the Aboriginal law firm has power of attorney over Shyam and Total Kusamir L.
The inquiry that the court must make deals with certain requirements set out in Prasathi. And it really comes down to whether the defendant understands the nature of the charges, the range of punishment, the technical problems associated with self-representation, whether the person is able to understand the rules of procedure and evidence and understand that he or she will be required to comply with them, whether the person understands the lack of legal knowledge of the law, the procedure will impair the defense, whether the defendant understands and appreciates the impact and the danger and the pitfalls of appearing in the dual role of a defendant and an attorney, whether the person understands how unwise it is to proceed without assistance from an attorney. I have attempted this afternoon, and the last time this matter was before the court, to obtain from Mr. Kusamir L.
Objection.
Answers to the questions.
I'm not a mister.
And find out Whether he understands. That's right.
So you're
Well,
threatening
what
me?
about the 26th? Are you available then?
Are you threatening me, ma'am?
Of course I'm not threatening you.
So you forced me to come.
Cheyenne Matuda Cushing-Morrell, you should be clear in your mind that I am issuing no threats to you. As I said before, you've been exceedingly polite and courteous. I think I've been polite and courteous, despite the goading that goes on. However, these are the dates that I have. Monday, January 5th, Monday, January 12th, Tuesday, the 20th, and Monday, the 26th. Any of those days better than another for you?
I'm not subject to the court's jurisdiction, so I will not be able to physically attend any of the court hearings.
Well, appear metaphysically then. Monday, January 26th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I cannot make that date, ma'am.
Oh, you know what? I can't either. We'll put it back for the 20th.
Under threat, duress, and coercion, I
No,
choose
sir,
Tuesday.
you want Tuesday the 20th?
Under threat, duress, and coercion.
Tuesday the 20th at 9 a.m. If you're not able to be here physically, you can be here metaphysically. What we will decide on that day is we will do the briefing schedule so that we can decide the issue of jurisdiction.
Okay, can you clarify, what do you mean metaphysically?
I don't know. What do you mean you can't be here physically?
I can't be here physically in this room. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Can you clarify?
No, I cannot, and I will not. On that day, we will set the briefing schedule so that the issue of does this court have jurisdiction can be heard and determined. All right?
Agreed.
Pardon me?
Agreed.
So all the briefs that I have, we will collect. If we need others, we'll tell you when they're due, and I'll give a hearing date. That's the issue that will be decided on that day. Now, I note in this particular case, there is another person who is named in the indictment. The name on the indictment, and I understand you're going to say object because that's nobody's name. I understand all that. Is Cornell Dixon, also known as...
Objection, Cornell.
No. Let me just read this. Cornell Dixon, also known as Colonel Chauncey L., also known as Cornell Hall. I am unable at this time. I know that I know that the Moorish American Aboriginal Indigenous Sovereign man who goes by an attribute different than that, which I cannot remember now, I apologize. I think it's Amir Colonel CL, but I don't have the whole correct attribute written down. Amir Colonel Chauncey L. His matter will also be scheduled for the same date and time. Separate notice will be sent on that case. I'm not expecting you to do anything with that, but that will be it. Now, I do not know if Amir Colonel Chauncey L. has also raised the issue of jurisdiction, mostly because I don't remember.
Actually, Judge,
If he has...
I don't know if he's raised the issue of jurisdiction. I know he's represented by Mr. Keesler.
By Mr. Keesler.
Objection. Mr. Keesler has no contracts with any members of the America Society.
You are unable to speak for Amir Colonel Chauncey L.
Chauncey L. is a member of the America Society, and I'm able to speak on his behalf because that is the law. He is a member of my society, and he does not have any contracts with any public defender, John Keesler.
Well, all I know is Judge Smith appointed the Office of the Public Defender
Objection.
to represent Amir Colonel Chauncey L., and I understand that the Office of the Public Defender assigned it to Mr. Keesler.
Objection, ma'am.
Whether you object or you don't object, that's the status. In any event, what I wanted to advise you of this is I do not know if in the proceedings involving him the issue of jurisdiction has been raised. We will discuss that on the 20th as well. I assume he's raising the same issue. Has that issue been raised, Mr. Luciano?
Judge, I will say I think the papers have been filed together.
Okay.
Both of the defense.
So that issue has been raised.
I think it's probably fair to
then
say.
with regard, then you should be prepared with regard to that we will address that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mayor Colonel Chauncey L., member of the American Society, has raised jurisdictional questions as well.
All right, and we'll deal with those then.
And you said this is January 20th?
It's Tuesday, January 20th at 9 a.m. here in this courtroom.
9 a.m.
Yes, sir. And again, in addition to whatever else we have to do in this case on that day, we will set a briefing schedule and a hearing schedule so that the issue of jurisdiction can be determined. Because as I told you before, I don't know if you listened, I acknowledge that you raised that issue, and I acknowledge it has to be decided. Mr. Luciano will be prepared to address that issue as well, because the way it happens in these cases, and I'm telling you, you're not a lawyer, but in any event is, you raise the issue, you present whatever law, whatever facts you have, Mr. Luciano gets to respond, we have a hearing, there can be oral arguments, sometimes there isn't, and then I decide if the court has jurisdiction.
Objection, ma'am. I am a lawyer of my society, the American Society, and all right.
Anything else in this matter this afternoon?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Nothing further from the state.
Now, you did have some papers that you showed me, and we gave them back to you because it looked like that might be your only copy. Are you filing them with the clerk of the court?
They've already been filed with the clerk of court.
Can I just tell you something?
Yes, ma'am.
You are filing things that you want me to see, and you want me to see them sooner rather than later. When you file them downstairs, put a little, do you just post a little post that says, please deliver this to Judge LeBon's chambers, or you don't even have to say please, not to be polite, although you are exceedingly polite. Put on there, deliver to Judge LeBon's chambers, because what happens is when you file them downstairs, they simply go into the court file, and unless I come in on a Friday morning and say to myself, gee, I ought to go downstairs and see if there's anything in the file that has indictment number 441, I wouldn't see it until, like today, I pulled the file up. So it makes it easier for everybody.
No problem.
Anything else? Thank you very much. Court is in recess.
Honest.
Do you want to take your green sheet with you that has the court date on it?
No, ma'am.
We always give them to you, and you always say, no, I'm not going to take it. I forget what you write on there.
I have the date here, ma'am.
Okay, very good.
All right. Have a beautiful day.
All right, good morning. This is under indictment 08-04-0441. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Judge, good morning. Assistant Prosecutor Mike Luciano from the state.
And Cheyenne M. Cushing-Muriel, would you state your name for the record, please? Your attribute for the record, please.
Cheyenne M. Cushing-Muriel on behalf of America's Empire Aboriginal Law.
All right. I want to ask you a couple of questions, please.
So anyway, let's get to Terrel Owens.
Yes, all right, we are live. We are live, and we got the police and everything. We got the police and everything.
That's Terrel Owens, ex-football player.
I'm good. What's up, sir?
What's going on, folks?
I'm driving to my mailbox. She telling me I'm speeding, telling me to slow down.
Slow down, and he rolled down his window and he started harassing.
First of all, I didn't harass you. She telling me to slow down. I said, what do you mean slow down? I said, yo, I'm just going to the mailbox. Then she goes, get the fuck out the middle of the road.
You almost hit me.
First of all, I almost hit you. Now you just making up stuff.
No, I literally
just like a Karen.
You almost hit me.
How did I almost hit you and I'm going to the mailbox? Yeah, I'd call you a Karen when I came over here after you said I called the police. Absolutely. Then you went on to say, oh, I'm the subject of the HOA meeting, this and that and the other. I got liens and shit on my house, this and that and the other. Then you start bringing up my status, who I was, my HBO, my VH1. You the one brought it up, lady. I did it. You did it. You did.
Hey, folks.
First of all, I didn't almost hit her. So, no, I'm fine, sir. First of all, I didn't almost hit her.
I understand that. Just relax.
You're not finna sit up here.
He ran the stop sign.
Well, there is no stop sign. What are you talking about?
I understand that. Where did you hit?
I wasn't, but I asked him to slow down, and he got out of his car and started harassing me. He put his car in park.
Right, because you're gonna yell at me and telling me I'm almost hit you, and I didn't.
But you didn't have to get out of your fucking car.
You didn't have to talk to me that way either, Karen.
A black man approaching a white woman.
First of all, you had your
that mean? A black man approaching a white woman. She's lying, but what's that called? A black man approaching a white piece of trash. What does that mean?
Either, Karen.
A black man approaching a white woman.
First of all, you had your boy right here, your husband right here. So first of all, I don't do that type of stuff.
Relax.
You did. You put your car in park and you came at me.
First of all, I didn't come at you.
Yes, you did.
You can stop all of that, Karen.
Okay, listen.
Get out of here with all of that.
Listen, if you guys want me here, I can solve it.
He literally came after me.
Here she crying. There's Karen. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Swear to God, I've never been a part of nothing like this. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Do you have your ID?
I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it, but this is firsthand.
And now he's online.
Oh boy, as she's crying. Oh my God, this is real. This is real. This is real. Here you go. Here you go, sir. This is real. This is real. This is real. This is real. I've never seen. I've seen it, but I've never been a part of this. This is real life. And now she's crying. Her husband tried to tell her to go in the house, but now she wanted to do the whole Karen thing. So I'm gonna be here with my camera to show everything. First of all, you need to stop that.
You were speeding through the neighborhood.
It was not. I was in the garage. You're lying now because I was sitting in the garage.
She said I was speed. First of all, I know what you're saying. No, I get you.
I got you.
No, this is real. This is real life in 2022. This is real life Karen stuff.
She crying.
I've never seen. I've seen it on TV. I've seen it on video, but I've never really been a part of something like this. This is unbelievable. Then she brought up that I'm the subject of HOA. Said everybody's been talking about me, my house. I don't keep up with my house. I got liens. I don't pay my fines. Everything. How do I know? Because she told me. Karen.
What's her name?
Kate. Close enough, Kate. So when I drove by, she said she called the police. I was like, cool. I'm going to sit right here till they come.
Wow.
I'm going to sit right here till they come.
And she over there crying?
Yo, she just started crying just now.
Oh, when they rolled up.
Yeah, but you know.
Oh, she started crying.
What? This is crazy to me. Yo, this is real life, people. Dude, this is unbelievable. I've never been a part of nothing like this in my life. Never. I'm good. I'm fine.
And I mean, she crying.
Bro, she just brought them tears out. She just brought those tears out. Before she got here, it was fuck you this, fuck you that, everything. Oh yeah, before I got here, it was all of that. The police showed up. Oh, the tears started flowing.
I thought they were supposed to start finding them for profiling.
Oh man, it's all good.
On black people just because they black.
First of all, I said I wasn't speeding, and then they're gonna tell me.
But she don't have no speed.
No, I got it. But she said we didn't say you were speeding. We told you need to slow down. So what does that mean? If you telling me I need to slow down, that means I was speeding.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So then she said I went after her, and I was like, nah, I came over here because you said you was calling 911. You was calling the police. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to sit right here and wait till the police come. I'm going to talk to George Lopez since I'm the subject, whoever the HO is. Since I'm the subject of the meetings, I'm gonna ask them what do I need to do since I can stop. I'm barely even here. And then told me I'm living in you living in a low budget neighborhood. Oh yeah, I live in a low budget neighborhood, but she living in here with me. I'm living in a low budget neighborhood, but oh, this all good. I ain't tripping. She don't know nothing. I got 2 houses. I'm not even worried about that. But that's how she was coming at me. So when I called her Karen, husband want to tell me, oh, stop calling her Karen. Man, I'm not. They thought I was just gonna bow down and listen to all that mess. Okay. This is where we are. This is where we are, America. This is where we are. Then you heard she said, I came after her. I came after her. Her husband right there, but I came after her.
So he wasn't gonna protect her.
This is unbelievable. I ain't never seen no real life Karen in life, but I see one. She said I came after her. Come, oh, you just said it. You came after me.
Seems I told her, you're talking to me, not to her anymore, all right?
All right.
Just relax.
I'm good. I'll do that.
Like I told her, if you yell at somebody, people are bound to respond. It's a reaction.
But my reaction was, she yelled at me and told me, slow down, you're speeding. Sir, my mailbox is right there.
Yeah.
I stopped right there in front of that house. That's where the mailbox was.
Yeah.
So why am I speeding past the mailbox if that's where I'm going? Why am I speeding?
Right.
It's 10 o'clock at night. Why am I speeding to my mailbox?
Right.
That makes no sense.
Right.
And ain't nothing in there but bills. Ain't nothing in there but bills.
And then she want to try to insult me and say I live in a low budget neighborhood because of who I am, but you living here with me.
It's just your identification.
Yes, man. Man, it's wild, man. I told you when she said she called 911, I just pulled her. I said, okay, cool. I'm gonna sit right here and wait on her then.
That's the best thing to do. You pulled out your phone, you record the same thing as I told her. If you think something is happening, you record it,
right.
And give us a call.
She can show all the footage she want to.
Yeah.
Fuck you, this and that. I'm like, okay, cool.
No one dangerous. No one dangerous.
So this is what we.
This whole corner right here, all the way down past my house is BSO. So why would we be acting a fool in the neighborhood?
Man, this is this is wild.
BSO.
My mailbox.
BSO, all out.
Yeah, my mailbox. It can't be about 3 football fields or so from my door.
Anybody touch anybody?
Nah, but you heard what she said. She said I came after her. You heard that yourself. But then I just said. Then she said she didn't say it. She said I came after her. Really? And then he wondered why I call her Karen. Quit calling. That's what Karens do. Come on, man. I'm like, I don't do this, bro. I've never gotten in any trouble when I was playing. I don't get involved in any stuff like this. So for her to come at me like that, that's why I did that. That's why I came over and I'm like, okay, cool. You want to come at me sideways? I'm going to come at you back sideways.
Understandable. Except it's just words.
No, sir, I'm not going to get anywhere out of trying to, again, touch her. Her husband was right there, whatever. For what? But she's not finna talk to me crazy and then tell me I'm doing something that I wasn't doing and then get over here and get a reaction. She wasn't doing no crime before you got here. As soon as she started, I guess, giving her side of the story, the tears came down. Come on, man. This is unreal. I've been here 2 days. 2 days.
Well, with that said, anything else you need from us?
Man, no, man. I just wanted to make sure because I knew at some point y'all were going to come to my door. So I just stayed right here till y'all got here.
Appreciate it.
So I don't know why she thought I was finna run somewhere, but she wasn't finna sit up here and talk to me crazy, this and that, yeah, fuck you, this and that, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine.
Well, within your rights to the court.
That's what I have been.
If you folks would, you can go ahead to your residence. All right, go ahead. You can get into your vehicle, sir.
Oh yeah, okay. Wow, I can't believe this. This is unreal. Unreal. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, people, this has been my night. But I just want to let y'all know, man. Hey, this Karen stuff is really real. It's really real. That's all I gotta say. It's real.
So there you go. Karens at their best. You dig? Theo the GOAT. Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna conclude for tonight. I'll be on tomorrow for more